Welcome to the Chelsea Skidmore Show. I'm here today with my guest, actress and improviser Patty Guggenheim. Hello.
Hi.
How was that intro? I always feel weird introing people in front of them.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Strongest last name?
Strongest of the
Guggenheim?
Swiss Germans.
Any relation to a museum?
What's weird is I don't know.
Really?
Like, no. I don't get in for free. They're not claiming me at all. But even within my family, there's contradiction that, like, maybe because I've heard two cousins moved to one went to the Midwest and one went to New York, and the New York ones got very successful, and the Midwest ones were like, hey, and they were like, no.
I know, because it's like it's like a power name.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. I mean, I didn't understand growing up, and I really struggled, like, spelling it a lot. But other than that, it's great. I love it.
That's so funny, because I can think of my friends who had those, like, hard to spell last names and growing up, just like how that would be a thing. Where did you grow up?
Indianapolis.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's so fun. I had so many friends who went to IU.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, we probably know a lot. Well, do you know Sandy Danto?
Yeah, of course.
He's one of my dear friends from college.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wait, who else? Fuck. Other people went. Wait, so did you go to IU?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Hoosiers or something. I just know that. And you're wearing red.
I know. Yeah.
No, because, like, yeah, my friends would always post pictures, and I'm like, oh, you're at a lake.
Yeah. Always at, like, a lake or on some, like real, like, put together boat.
Uh-huh.
Like, really shady stuff going on, but really fun.
Were you in a sorority?
I was. Yeah.
What kind of sorority was
Kappa,
it?
Kappa Gamma.
Oh, that's a famous one.
It is. Yeah. I mean, I think they're all kind of like, that's kind of the point of them sometimes. It's like, oh, you're in the one that's the one. I didn't really understand, but my parents were in one, and they're
the same one?
No.
Okay, because I know that's special too.
That was a thing too.
Yeah.
It was so weird.
I've never been into a sorority or frat house. Like,
I think you'd freak out.
I know nothing about Greek life, but in the schools I went to didn't have them. I went to Hawaii because I had really bad grades. And then I finished in New York at Pace, which was like a small school downtown. But none of them had Greek life. So I have no idea. So I'm, like, slightly fascinated in, like, what they were like. Like, when you rushed, like, did you have to do any weird things?
Oh my, it is the weirdest. You have, like, two girls come up to you and they're like, hey, do you want to chat? And you're like, yeah, I mean, well, I'm here. And then you go, like, sit down and they, like, grill you with questions. They're like, where you found it? It's a podcast. But it's, like, so you don't really get anywhere with anything because it's just very surface level. So it's, like, quick
Are they like, how many times did you go to prom? How many boyfriends did you have senior year?
Yeah.
They're like, I can't
so
imagine the questions.
Anyone? Like, what's that relationship like? What's your what's your family like? Da, 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 what's important to you? Oh my God, have you ridden horses? You know, like, really important stuff. And it's so weird. And every sorority at our school had a theme for each party. So we had 19 sororities. So you start going at 19, you start going to all of them, and then it gets narrowed down to 3, and then eventually 1. And being on the other side of it, you are part of, like, attracting the girls. And now it's even crazier because there's, like, social media and people, like, do advertisements for their sororities.
Oh, wow.
Like, you know, like,
I've seen the thing.
Yeah, the thing.
I don't know what that's called.
But
for the listener, I just clapped and expected everyone to know what that was.
Do the
What is that called? That's like a thing, right? When they're all, like, chanting and doing the clap. It's so creepy. It's like a horror movie.
Yeah, it's different at every one, I think. But, yeah, there's a lot of weird kind of tribal dancing that goes on. And it's very strange. And then, you know, there's, like, a voting process and, like, it's just super weird. There's commotion happening.
Yeah, just upstairs. Daytime in the Comedy Store.
I love being here.
Yeah. So did you have to do any like crazy fucked up rush things?
No, it was very much like, here are some presents.
And
yeah.
That's nice.
I think
because they wanted you.
Different than the fraternities did, hazing and things. But
hazing. That's the word I was looking for. So maybe that ended before you started, because wasn't that very big? And then I know a lot of stuff happened, like in the news, like people started dying.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah,
we actually did hazing in high school. I was in a sorority in high school.
Oh,
this is really
I love that.
I love it. It was called Dolls.
That's so cute because you guys
overlook loyal, loving sisters.
Oh.
It was started in the 70s, and
oh my God.
It wasn't like a school affiliated thing because they were like, people are drinking and like, ending up in the hospital, so we're not going to like put our stamp on this. But it was really just an excuse to like rent out a Marriott ballroom and have older siblings like buy you alcohol and get a Hummer limo. And
that's so fun.
Yeah, it was fun. But we did a lot of hazing there.
Yeah. Yeah. Like throwing shaving cream at people.
Yeah, like coming to capture you, like, and then taking you.
You're like, what
somewhere.
Can I get? What can I say?
I know. It was like, it did get kind of dicey. Eggs.
Wasn't there an actor that was involved with a hazing? Do you remember that? There was like an actor who was involved with like a hazing thing when he was at college, and then it came out. And it was like a popular Do you know who I'm talking about, Tony? No. All right. You'll look it up. Look it up.
I need to know.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. And then it came back later, but then like statute of limitations, he was not in trouble.
Oh,
but it was
like he had done something.
Yeah, he was a part of something, I think. Then it only came out later but whatever. Anyways, so what'd you study in school?
I studied, God, what did I study? Telecommunications.
Yeah.
That's where I met Sandy. Mm-hmm. So we did it was like radio TV.
Mm-hmm.
And then I minored in business and theater. So I kind of tried to cover a lot of bases.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know, where are you from again?
New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
Coming from the Midwest, you don't really think acting is a real option, at least for me.
Yeah.
I didn't know anybody who was doing anything like that, and I was like, oh, broadcast news, that's the same thing. You're on television. So I studied kind of like a lot of everything, but I loved this department at IU where almost like everyone in my class ended up out here or doing film and television somewhere.
Yeah.
So it was really great. And they actually discontinued the program, so I don't know why. But it was, you just kind of write and act and put on a TV show every week.
Yeah. So it's like the Sunday Company.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And then did you move out to LA following that? How did you decide to come out here and start doing Groundlings?
Yeah, let's see. I came out to do an internship my senior year of college at the Showbiz Show with David Spade.
Oh, cool.
And so that's how I got out here. And I was still in college, so I was, it was kind of like my first time. It was an internship. So I was soaking it all up, and I was like, oh my God. It was very, very different from anything I'd ever done. And then after college, they hired me to come back on that show, so I worked.
That's amazing.
Show. Yeah. So that's kind of how I got out here.
Mm-hmm.
And then...
Were you like a PA or something?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they didn't really have a job for me.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who created the show with David Spade went to my high school in Indiana.
Nice.
So I ran into him in the Nordstrom Shoe department, and it was just like, oh my God, hi, I know you, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, if your show gets picked up, I want to come do coffee or whatever.
Yeah.
So they hired me.
That's so
really
cool.
Yeah, it was cool. And then, so then I came out here, and it was like a total different world. And then, Sandy and my other IU friends started coming out here. And then, I would hang out here a lot because it's like, I don't know, what do you do? People are starting to do stand-up and stuff.
Did you ever do stand-up?
I think I tried once, and it was maybe twice.
But you weren't into it.
No. But you knew you wanted to do it.
Yeah. But I'm not even doing it right now.
You're not. Well,
no, I'm taking like a little bit of some space from it just because I just only have like so much energy, and I am focusing more on writing right now.
Yeah.
So
that's great.
And it's easy for me to do that from home or a coffee shop and then go back. And at this stage with raising my baby, it's like not the lifestyles don't match up enough for me.
Oh, it's a wild.
Yeah.
lifestyle.
I could make it work if I wanted to, but I don't,
Yeah. Yeah. I totally get that. Because it does take a lot of
like I'm asleep by then now.
Yeah. You have to kind of be ready to like get going at like 10.
Yeah.
Which
plenty of people do. Like so many new moms do. And like I think for me, I just am like switching my focus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
Good. It's good to do that.
Yeah. So
I didn't want to do stand. Well, I tried it, but I really find that I like working in an ensemble and working with people. And so I started Groundlings. Like it took me a few years once I moved to LA, and I had a friend from Indiana who literally dragged me and I was like, this is where you're going to go. And I didn't know about it. So I was really glad that she did that. And then I was like, oh, this is great.
Yeah.
This is great. This is what this feels
Who were your teachers? Do you remember?
Let's see. Of course. Yes, my first one was Margie McGee. Do you know her?
Mm-mm.
Oh, she's an amazing writer. Really, really funny and awesome. She writes on tons of shows. And then I took Phyllis, like she did like workshops and stuff. So I did her workshops, which were so good. And then I had Drew Droege. Oh, I started with Stephanie Courtney.
Oh, that's so fun.
That was my first.
She did basic then?
She did basic. And I was in her class when she was like, oh, God, you guys, this career is not working out.
And for those of you who don't know who Stephanie Courtney is, it's Flo from the Progressive commercials.
And then she like started missing some classes, and she was like, I have a callback, da-da-da-da. And then the next class, she was like, I booked a campaign. And we were like, oh, what a journey.
Wow.
So that was her Progressive campaign. But it was like, it was so interesting to meet her in those times before that, because it's just kind of like a lesson, like, you never know what.
Totally.
But she was awesome.
Something I had remembered, I went to like a workshop that she did one time at Groundlings, and she was like, I think that it's like bullshit that you have to like pay constantly to get headshots done. Like I still use the same black and white headshot from like 20 years ago. Yeah. And like, that's the one I booked Progressive with. Like, that's like, I never updated it. Like, it's totally fine. I just remembered that from what she said, and it always stuck with me.
I kind of want to do that. I want to get some black and white headshots and just be like,
that's funny.
Some like glamour shots or something.
Yeah, something I was talking about actually with Phyllis before we started last week was just like how paying for the expensive headshots like isn't always the way to go, because sometimes those shoots are just like so awkward.
Yeah.
And like it doesn't even matter, like the name of the place and the look, like everyone wants like, you can recognize like a certain kind of photo, but then it's not always going to be the best. Those have always been my worst experiences.
Yeah, because like the point is to like, you can kind of tell what's going on with somebody in a photo, and you don't want them to feel awkward.
Yeah, totally.
Or like staged.
Yeah.
Because, but yeah, that's really funny. Yeah, she gives great advice, and Stephanie Courtney is awesome. She's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had Drew Droege, who was great, and then Chase Winton.
I don't
know. She's
her.
Awesome too, funny. And then Kevin Kirkpatrick.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So then you went through the whole thing and stuck with it, and then you got right into Sunday Company.
I mean, 6 years later.
It took 6 years later?
Yeah.
Really?
It took a while because then I think there were wait lists.
Oh, right.
For
okay.
the writing levels. So I think I had 2 years in between two of the levels. And I also like took a weird break and did like finance for a few years.
Oh, cool.
No, it was a really weird experience, but yeah. So it took me some years to get through, but then once I did advanced, then you go right into the company. Yeah.
Were you very into characters to begin with, or is that something you found that you loved at Groundlings?
Oh no, I loved them always.
Like, who are your like go-to like favorites that you're like, I have to do something different? Like, where do you always want to go?
What do you mean, to look at people?
Like when you're doing like in a show. Like, who are your favorite go-to type characters?
Oh, that I do?
Yeah.
I do. I think I like to really get on both sides of the status spectrum. Like, I like to play a lot of people who are just kind of like don't have a lot going on. And then I like to play people who like are so like frenetic energy, like, oh my God. So those are my favorites.
Yeah.
Go-tos, I would say.
That's so fun.
and then I love improv because I really like just getting a suggestion and not having an idea. And then like literally hearing that and being like, okay, who, what? And then just trying new things too. Because it's such a fun way to try new things because the stakes are so low because you have, 3 minutes, 4 minutes up there and you can try something weird and like if it doesn't go great, it's gone, Right.
So did you have that ability to just be like super free with that from the start?
Oh no.
Or is that something you work towards? And like what was that process like for you?
When I first started, I remember being in class and like doing things and then going home and being like, oh my God, what did I say? Why did I do that? And be like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. Like just really in my head, like second guessing myself. And then just the more I did it, you kind of learn to be like, whatever. It didn't work. I'll try something new this time or whatever. And you just kind of like naturally, for me, like the longer I did it, just start to kind of like lose that. Yeah. Like overthinking part of it. Which I think
just like over time.
It just took some time. For me, I mean, some people have that just innate ability to get up and be like, man, whatever.
I know.
And I'm always like, wow. And I love teaching people who have that too. I'm not teaching currently, but I used to. And it would be so fun to see those people who are just like, I'm just going to try something.
I
whatever.
know.
And you're like, yes. You love it. You love it. Because you're like, everyone wants to feel like that and be that like free.
Right.
And so when you see somebody do it, it's like, you're like living vicariously with them.
Totally.
Yeah.
I know. I feel like that's like, as a performer, like that's just the space that you want to be in. Yeah. And like again, I only took classes there. But that was definitely like a process for me to like let go and like just try to get myself to that point where I didn't care and I can play and not care about what other people think about me.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. And this is like sort of a lame question, but so when I met you and I found out that you did Groundlings, what? When we did Kevin's thing?
We met.
Did we do Kevin's thing?
What was
That's how we met, right?
That weird thing.
The thing at his house that we filmed, the dating thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how we met, right?
Yes.
Yeah. What were you going to say?
It was Kevin. I don't remember.
Did you know Kevin already?
No. I don't remember how that came about. But I was thinking about that on the way over here. Like, that's how we met.
I know. I was like, no, she was the girl who I did that with, right?
Yeah.
But when was that? Like 6 years ago? Oh, you do? That's so funny.
I think I took some pictures from that day and...
Yeah. Well, we did like a pilot presentation, basically, that like didn't go anywhere. And then I did go to that like audition thing and then it like nothing, whatever. It didn't work out.
Yeah.
But okay. So then when I found out you were doing Groundlings then, so then that might have been like 6 years ago or something. It felt like, I don't know.
Yeah, it probably was 6 or 7.
I was in classes then and I remember... And were you in the Sunday company then 6 years ago or the main company or?
I was probably either in advanced or Sunday maybe.
Okay. I think you're in Sunday because I remember like, you know, when you're in classes and someone's in Sunday company, you're like, wow, you know, like remember when you're.
Yeah.
So something that I had that I was working through, and this is not how I feel about myself right now, but like, you know, like when everyone's like, oh, like you're a hot girl, you're a pretty girl. And then you're like, how can I like be as silly and as free as I want to be and not have like, you know, like you're working against that whole thing. So that's like my lame question. Like I remember that being something that I really like had to work through during that time, like feeling self-conscious.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, she's so pretty and like she does it.
Oh, God.
But I even felt that way like on stage with like stand up. Like I would never want to wear like I would always dress down, like super down, you know, like always in like a t-shirt and a hoodie. And like I would never be a girl on stage and with like cleavage out or like in a skirt or heels and like I don't think about that stuff anymore, but like earlier, like when I started performing, whether it was improv or stand up, like I'd be super in my head about that. So obviously you're like a gorgeous girl. And like the lame question is like, I think a guy would ask this on a podcast, you know, but
no,
but girl to girl, I do think there is like a conversation there.
Yeah, totally. I think that's something to get through. I mean, oh my God, I have to get through like feeling whatever, attractive or something. That's so that sounds so gross. But I know what you're talking about where like, there's just a thing in society, you know, where it's like you kind of get labeled or put in a category. Like, you know, I know when I met you, I was like, oh my God, she's hot and she's comedy. Oh my God, cool. It's like, I don't know.
Like you're working against other people's expectations. Like, do you feel like you have to like prove yourself or did you?
Oh, totally. Totally.
And did you find yourself like acting or dressing differently to support that?
Yeah. I remember wearing like really baggy things in shows, like student shows or things like that. Cause you like don't want it to be about something other than like the substance of what you're doing. But then I was just kind of like you kind of, at least at Groundlings, it was a nice like environment to lean into things like that, like play characters who are like, you know, I think of like Jennifer Coolidge, you know, she is so gorgeous and like loud and fun and like that's just who she is, but then she also plays characters like that. So I think I feel like so weird talking about this because it feels like, oh, I honestly didn't feel like, oh, I'm an attractive girl doing comedy at all. It just, I don't know. I do think I leaned into doing like really gross characters too because you really want to get away from any of that. So like, you know, characters who just like don't have teeth or makeup or like you know just stuff that you can kind of hide in. So I do think there's been some of that, but I don't know if I'm answering your question.
No, yeah, you leaned in with going like in the opposite direction.
Yeah. I
to be like, see,
that.
I can like...
Yeah, I liked that because then it wasn't about the physical stuff going on. And it could just be about that point of view of that person. So I liked leaning in, and I still do, to weird, different, like, outside the box normal point of view. So that it can kind of like... And then you can kind of get really creative and weird with the outside.
Yeah. Who are performers that you've done shows with, maybe that were guests that you're like excited about doing shows with, that you're like, oh my God, this is like so fun to get to play with this person?
Sherry O'Terry.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Oh God. Yeah, she's awesome. And she was like a big role model growing up. And then Molly Shannon too.
Oh, that's fun.
And then, you know, like at the Groundlings, people come play. I can't think of anything in particular. Well, I don't know. Like I didn't perform with them, but I got to meet Pee Wee Herman in the lobby there. You know, Paul Rubin.
Yeah.
And he's just, it was just like people that you grow up with, and then you meet, and you're like, oh my God, that was really cool.
Yeah. Especially though, I think there's something more fun about doing improv with people instead of acting with people, because you're working together to build something.
Yeah.
So it's like there's an improvisers like for example, like I love Mitch Silpa.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Like I remember when I was taking classes and I would look up like the shows for the week and see who I would always like want to go to something he did.
Yeah.
So like doing like if I did a scene with him, I'd be like, oh my God, like I'm doing a scene with someone I like respect so much, you know?
Yeah.
Like that would be exciting to me.
I remember early on they used to do this thing, and we should bring it back, where you get to perform. As a student, they did like a lottery show, and they would pick out a name, and then you get to go like do scenes with people. And Jim Rash was in it.
Love.
I got to do a scene with him, and I think my brain melted. Like I honestly don't think I said words. He was like, are you okay? Like half the scene was like getting me to say words because
really? That's so funny. Yeah, he's amazing.
So brilliant and effortless. Same with Mitch, Kevin Kirkpatrick, like Edie Patterson. Oh my God. Getting to do improv with her.
Amazing. Yeah. I was so excited. I took like a character class from her, and I was like, I can't believe I'm like getting to take a character, you know, like I'm just like fanning out.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm like friends with her now. And it's still, she's, you know, we talk like friends, but I'm still like, you're a dream come true person.
Yeah.
Like watching you you're watching magic. And so getting to do improv with, you know, her is so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what about acting? Like, do you have any crazy, embarrassing audition stories? Like, do any come to mind that you're just like, I'm dead?
Oh, God, I should have some of these locked and loaded. there are so many. God, I'm not thinking of any right this second. Sometimes auditioning is, I was trying to remember this today, that it's the job. It's really like the job. Like once you get to go do the job, that's like fun. But the audition part is where the things like bubble up and you're like, oh God. And that feels like,
do you audition well?
Work sometimes. Sometimes I think like, oh yeah. And then sometimes I'm like, this is awful. And then you just have to send it out. And then you're like, there it is.
Like, do you prefer to do a self-tape or to go in? Because I feel like with a self-tape, you just have the opportunity to drive yourself insane.
I love to go in. I love to work with a director or someone giving a note. I love notes because, yes, you can, like, watch your tape back and, like, see the thing and then do it again. But I think it comes with the ensemble thing. Like, I love working with people. And I think if you're working with good people, you're just, like, raising the bar for yourself and, you know, you can, like, kind of co-create the thing. And so I love going in person. And I'm trying to think. I mean, oh, God. I don't even know if I want to share this. It's so bad.
I'm going to need it.
It's just a really gross, it's sad. It's sad, okay? When I first went, you know, like when you first get an agent and it's like somebody who's like shouldn't be an agent, you know?
Yeah.
Like sometimes it's like a person who's like working out of their garage and they they have like a business card and that's it. But I got an audition for this thing and I went in person. I don't want to share this.
No.
It's so bad.
I have so many bad.
It plays into the like girl, like being this girl thing, right?
Yeah.
So I did the audition. I think I did like a pretty good job. Oh God, this is so bad. I've never told anyone this. So then when I was leaving, I go, oh, and I'm going to lose 5 pounds. So this isn't normal for me. This is like, I'm going to lose. It was like mortifying.
That's it? You mean because you're like, why did I say that?
Yes.
But you're like, oh, just to let you know, like, I will also be losing 5 pounds.
Yes.
That's fine.
Just to let you know, I will be 5 pounds lighter once this shoots.
Yeah. Like,
and
instead of like, I'm going to be like getting bangs next week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, it just kind of is that thing. You're like, oh my God. Like, now, like, if I were casting somebody and somebody said that to me, I'd be like, oh no, that person thinks that, oh no. I don't know. It was just that.
And did you?
I think I probably put on 5 pounds after that. I was like, I don't know. And I don't know. I don't know. I just remember coming out of that and being like, oh God. And then I feel like I called the agent and I was like, that went great. So check in on that, you know, like it was just bad. It was so bad. It was stupid. Maybe it's not that horrible of a story, but in the moment, looking back, I'm like, and that was just one of the.
Yeah. I remember in a commercial audition, I looked down at a watch that wasn't on my arm, like in the scene. And then after, like, the casting director, who was a friend of mine, was like, oh my God, when you look down at the fake watch, psycho. And I was just like, I know, what was that? And then the whole drive home, I was just like, you know, when you repeat it in the drive home, you're like, why did I say that?
Okay.
So embarrassing.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was bad. That's so funny, though, even like talking about those like early reps that you have. Like, I completely forgot about some of those weird people. I remember I was rep by this company and nothing wrong with them. It was just like a new company. Like, they were called Almond. Okay. So I was at Equinox working out and I heard that like,
rich?
No. And, and I heard that you can, well, I did come from New York and mine was cheaper because I had like been working out there for a long time. So I heard that like if you're with like an agency that they can lower your rate even more. So I wanted to like Jew them down, you know?
Right, sure.
So I like go into like a meeting with them and they're like, what's the name of the agency? And I was like, oh, Almond? And they were like the nut? Like it was like a moment in a TV show when they were just like shaming me and they're like, yeah, don't be Almond, but when you're with a bigger agency, feel free to come back and let us know. And like,
wow.
Yeah. They're like, yeah, if you're with like ICM or like WME or something, like we can definitely find that in the system. And I was like, great.
Oh my.
It was so embarrassing. Yeah. They were like, oh, like the nut?
We're not
I was like,
finding that.
I was like, exactly.
Oh my God. That's
so embarrassing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So when you do a show or a job and you're like coming down, decompressing, like what's your favorite way to decompress all of that energy?
I like collaging a lot.
At night? Like late at night?
Oh, like coming home from the night
Yeah, like performing.
Oh, I was thinking like in between things.
Oh.
Coming home, I usually like text everybody that we just did the show with. We usually drink after shows. I think text chains.
The kitchen is hot. Light. Is that the phrase?
The kitchen.
Is that I'm so hot.
Is
yeah. No, because you lift up your hair and my hair is like sweating on my body.
Kitchen is
Have you heard of that?
Today.
Kitchen?
No, but
isn't that a thing?
It.
It's like the kitchen or something.
The kitchen is hot.
What? Yeah, can you please?
Will you Google the saying? Is the kitchen?
Yeah, Google kitchen.
No, I really.
So you text everyone and see.
Yeah, I text everybody. I'm also on the app Marco Polo.
What's that?
Oh,
Wait.
God, what? You don't know about this thing? Okay, it's a life-changing app.
Okay.
And, well, if you like talk, so basically you get on there and you find your friends and then you can leave basically messages for each other, but it's a video. So you're just kind of like, it's not like revolutionary, oh my God, but it kind of is because
like a Snapchat.
But it's long form and it stays on there. So like, and I have a group of like, 5 friends from high school or like, and so I really like talking to them because they're all in the country and they all have many children and they all have such a different thing going on. So it's really relaxing to me to like hear about their lives. So that's kind of how I decompress, is like hear about someone's au pair or but it's my friend, so I'm like, interested, and or like what's for dinner, or it's kind of like coming home to like my family table, but it's just me by myself at like midnight listening.
That's
so I
cute.
do that. I like that app a lot. It's really fun. And what else? I watch things. I play with my cat. Oh my God, I have a very cute cat.
What kind?
He's kind of like a baby Maine Coon.
Oh,
but he's like an adult, but he was malnourished to perfection. Like I feel bad. He had like a really rough start.
Yeah.
But now he's so perfect and little and cute. And he was rescued from under a highway in Indiana. He's just amazing.
So you moved out here with him?
No, my brother rescued him in Indiana, and then my brother surprised me with him. He just kind of flew out and had the cat with him. I was like, oh.
He's like, here, I got this for you, and you couldn't say
I have
no.
this now. But it was the best gift.
That's cute.
Like a dream cat. Yeah.
What about any nightmare dating stories in LA?
Oh my gosh. Probably like 20 here at this location. God, there were so many. I feel like early on I was dating people who, and this was like the brother of a celebrity, and so I don't even know how I met him. Probably okay, did you used to go out when you first moved to LA?
Yeah.
Like all the time, like Ledoux or...
I don't think Ledoux existed when I moved here.
Okay.
I moved here in 2013.
Okay, so that must have been gone. It was like... I don't know, they were like an after hours club, and I don't know what was going on, but I think I met him here. And like, this is probably a very like stereotypical LA story, but like at some point in the relationship, he just started doing a lot of cocaine, but like hiding it. So he would like go to the bathroom, come back, and be like, "Huh," and I didn't really understand what that was. I didn't do coke in college or anything, so I didn't understand what was going on. And then, yeah, he just would be so weird all of a sudden. That's not a great story.
Did you confront him? Were you like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I think I was like, what's going on? And he was like, nothing. Yeah, he was very like, nothing? No, I don't do that. Very classic.
Yeah.
Classic tale. Let's see, other dating stories. I went on some like, well, I used to go to like Playboy parties.
Oh my God, I'm so jealous.
Oh.
It just would have been fun to have gone to the Playboy Mansion. Just once.
Isn't it still there?
I don't think it would be what it was if it was. But I think they sold it.
Yeah, okay.
But like just to have gone once.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have been fun to go in the 90s.
Yeah.
You know, but like.
Yeah, oh yeah, that would have been really fun.
Or whenever the best time was.
Yeah.
Early 2000s.
It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it was.
So you went there a couple times?
I went there a couple times, and like the Halloween party.
Mm-hmm.
And then there were a few other parties that weren't at the mansion, but they were just like put on by Playboy people. And I don't know how I got there, but it was like the shadiest of characters.
Right.
Just the shadiest.
The type of people who hang out there, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then at the mansion, it would be like Bill Maher, and so it would just be like a bunch of celebrities and then old men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to this house that I think was trying to be like a Playboy mansion.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot what his name was, but it was this guy who like always had parties, and like it was just like the trashiest, like lamest guys, like and just all these like fresh into LA chicks.
Yes.
And like
they really like, how did they
a crudité plate.
Yeah. Yeah. And then a lot of alcohol and
and then I remember there'd be like hair and makeup people there in case like girls wanted to do shoots like around the like property or something.
Sure.
And I'd be like, I'll get my hair and makeup done.
Oh, I went to one.
I think his name was Michael, the guy whose house it was, but I don't remember his last name.
Okay.
It could have been in Mulholland Estates too, like around there.
Okay. Oh, I might have gone to something like that. I remember a party like in the like gated off, like a gated entrance. Mm-hmm. And then there was that guy, God, this is like scraping the memory files. That really, he got in trouble. Nygaard. Okay. He had a house in, I think, Venice. And it would be like a beach party. And it was just like all these girls. And then like.
Is someone mining? Okay.
If you hear some light scrape in the background. And it was just, it's like the kind of people who are throwing these parties that are now in the news who are like, they have this like long list of like horrible behavior.
Right.
We were just like, hi. Like my mom would be like, what are you doing this weekend? Like, going to a party in Venice, you know?
Yeah. And like, you have no idea. That's like Andrew Keegan doing the cult in Venice. Did you hear about that?
He had a cult?
Oh, remember him? Yeah.
I would be in that.
I know. He was running a cult. So it's like, just all these things in LA that you later are like, oh, that's what that was.
Oh, I was in a...
Like that pool party I went to, the like wanting to be Playboy Mansion one. Like that's probably like an escort party. Well, I remember like when I was younger, I was in South Beach and my friend was dating like an older party promoter. And we were like 18 and like the whole boat was like old men and like these like young hot chicks. And I looked back on like the photos and I'm like, oh, those are all escorts.
Yeah.
I had no idea though. You know, like it was just like they were all like pay for play, like lame chicks. And I just thought we were all like girls on a boat having fun.
Right.
But it's
you just
like,
think you're all girls on a boat having fun. And then you do wonder, like, are any of them thinking like, this is weird and like this is like material. Like the whole time I was at these places I was like I was just like, my brain was like, oh my God, that's weird, that's weird, that's weird. Oh my God, who's that? Oh my God, what are they doing? And then just like taking mental notes of like, this behavior. But I don't know if anyone else was doing that. So it's nice to know there were some other people who were like...
It's great people watching. Yeah. And like that is the stuff to call on later.
Yes.
Like that is the best way to look at mistakes of the past.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, that was like research for like the comedy that I will be doing today. Exactly. Like that's just the best way to rationalize everything.
I'm rationalizing it so hard. It's people watching. It's mining. Yeah, I mean that's like sorority life. I did a monologue for Groundlings for my lab was sorority, and then just like taking note of all those little weird behaviors that are going on. I was like, it's like my favorite thing to do.
Yeah,
I love putting myself in weird situations.
I know,
so that I can like just see people behave.
Yeah.
It's my favorite.
Me too. I know. I got myself into a lot of weird situations when I was in college.
Yeah.
Like I remember I was like, let's watch this guy smoke meth. My friends were like, no.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were talking about going that far.
No. I mean, I know I would.
We were in Hawaii. So like everyone was smoking meth in Hawaii.
Something. Yeah. Oh, really? I didn't
also called Batu or Tina there.
Oh.
That's the street name for it.
I see.
But like, is that what you mean by crazy stuff?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Quite.
Like you'd end up in like a townie's garage.
Yeah.
And there's like farming equipment around and then you're like, what?
Did you go to those like house party? So did you go to those like rural, I can't say that word right. Rural. Like parties where it's like keg parties and like the dad's doing the keg stand and getting into a fight.
Oh yeah.
With like the high school kid.
Well, in high school we had this family. They were awesome, but they had this guy named Larry who lived in the garage, and he was like a 40-year-old man who would throw parties.
Yeah, for high school kids. Yeah. I know, it's like the stuff, but at the time, it's like, oh, that's Larry.
Yeah.
Like, Larry can get us, like, Rolling Rock.
Yeah, exactly. He wears a turtleneck and
Ew.
he's super weird.
That's creepy.
And he has like those blacklight posters.
No,
but
from Spencer's Gifts.
Yeah.
And a lava lamp.
Yeah, lava lamp, like mushroom.
Strobe light.
Oh,
like the mushroom felt
blacklight
posters.
Yes, it would be like these walls.
Yeah.
Like, you'd be like, oh, wow. Yeah, those beads, like to get in the door, and you're like, this guy's cool.
Incense.
Yeah.
He's like, I can get mushrooms.
Bongs. Mushrooms. Whatever you need. Like, he had it
Forever
all.
40.
Forever 40.
Yeah.
He was cool. But now looking back at
turtlenecks are creepy for that guy. That's a character. But that is like a great character in something.
Yeah. He was just there. He was just there. And at these high school sorority parties, there were
dolls event.
Dolls events. Thank you for honoring. There were some teachers who came and like DJ. Like there was a teacher who was like, I'll DJ your event. Had a full family, child, wife, but would come DJ our
house
school
party.
It was at the Marriott Ballroom.
Yeah.
So
that's weird.
Pretty classy.
Yeah.
And he like would make out with this one student on the dance floor.
In front of everyone?
In front of everyone.
Yeah.
Balls. And we were just all so drunk and like barfing in planters and like whatever.
But do you remember at the time like thinking that was weird or not?
No. I was kind of like, this is kind of normal. I don't know. We all have pictures with him. And you're like, oh, he's the cool teacher.
I went to boarding school for like one semester in Switzerland and
wow.
And we would get drunk with the teachers. And the teachers who like lived on the property, like they invited us over to like drink and have dinner at their house. And I remember being like, this is weird. And everyone's like, no, it's not. And then for our prom, we all got drunk and we were in Europe, so we can all drink, and there was like tons of champagne and we were all like getting drunk and like literally grinding with the teachers. And I remember being like, this is so weird. And no one else thought it was weird. Maybe because it was Europe. I don't know.
Yeah. Or maybe they just had seen it. I don't know. Yeah, it's so weird.
But I felt like I was the only one who was like, this is off.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very off.
Yeah.
It's very off. And
were there a lot of parties like that in Indiana? Like, I feel like I could see that. And was it like a lot of fields or like city?
It was a city and field.
Yeah.
But mostly city with big yards. So like mini fields.
That's fun.
Yeah. But it was like who's getting the keg, whose house. And a lot of times it was me, and my poor parents had to like get a call when they were on a trip, and it was the police, and I had like a huge crazy party. I don't know. My parents were entertainer. They would like party a lot. So I was like, this is what we do.
Yeah.
Even though I'm underage and, had just kegs, and the grass would be like completely matted. But they were so fun.
So fun. Oh, I remember something I want to ask you about. So when you were talking about how you love to collaborate with other people and like take notes during auditions and stuff like that, like what do you think like makes good collaboration and working with others? Because like for example, like being able to hear and take a note.
Yeah.
And like not be defensive. Like is that something you automatically were able to do, or were you like, no, I have to like really focus and like listen and like take a minute and like take that in? Like what's that like for you?
I think it got easier the more and more you get out of your head. I really think staying in the moment is so important in those situations, because then you can hear it. And I really think that's what the key is like for collaboration, is like really hearing the thing. And I mean, it's so, overused, but the yes and of it all, where instead of being like, oh no, but I was actually right, and like going into like how you could have actually been right there, actually listening, taking the thing, and then it's really like yes-anding it. Oh, what can I do with that? Oh, okay, that gives me another idea, and then that's another idea. Okay, and then we can build off of that. I really think then being not defensive is such a huge thing. Like, because we want to be right, we want to feel like we did something right and but the more you can look at it as just like ever changing and evolving and just seeing people like, if they have a good idea. There's a good analogy that someone used at Groundlings when I was going through. It was like, we both have a teacup. I'm going to give you the tea. You don't have to drink it, but you have to take it. So you don't take the tea and like throw it back in their face. You just kind of like, okay. And then if you do take it, like, I'm butchering this analogy.
No, I understand what
like
you're saying.
Not being like, no. Like, just, we're going to sit down and have tea, and we're going to work on this together and see where it goes. And I like the freedom of that, the freedom of getting information from someone else and then being able to build off of it and not having to plan. Like, then you don't have to plan. If you know that you're going to get a note from somebody and they're going to see something different, you don't have to have it all figured out. So there's freedom in that.
Yeah. When you respond to a note, do you have like one of those, and not like a phone it in, but like a go-to, like, oh, I love that, like blah, blah, blah?
Probably. I probably do that all the time. But if I'm working with somebody I really like, more often than not, I do love the thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's fun. Let's try that. I like the playfulness of just being able to try things. Like, if someone has an idea, that means they like see something in what you're doing. If they don't have any notes, it could be great, but also like it's more playful to be like, ooh, we'll try it like this or try it like that. I think looking at it as like playing, like being able to like see what else we can find is my favorite part of it.
Yeah.
An important part of it.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So, and just to wrap up, what do you do for your self-care, and what's like super important for you to do?
Write every day.
Like journal?
Journal. Yeah.
Artist pages, or
yeah.
Is that what it's called again? I forgot.
The
morning pages. Yeah.
I do that every morning, 3 pages. That's really, and I didn't do it today.
I used to do that, and I haven't been doing it, but it's incredible what comes out. Like the clarity that you get. It's crazy.
It really centers you. And like, sometimes I'll have to I'll get out of bed on like a phone call, and so I'll be like, and then the day will get weird, or I'll just do it later or something, hopefully. But that's my favorite thing to do in the morning. I really love that book, The Artist's Way. I did that probably, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago. And I was like, oh, this is, it helps you like tap into something outside yourself and just let it flow and not make things precious, because you're like, oh, there's going to be, it just keeps going. You kind of realize like, oh, there's just there's a well of stuff that's coming. So that, I do something stupid called the Shape House, where you go and lay in a bag and sweat.
How often do you go to that?
Like once or twice a week.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, save a membership.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right now I do.
I went once, and I don't remember like loving it enough to want to go back. I don't think I like to be sweaty.
Yeah, you're definitely
sweat
just
a lot,
sweating
right?
in like a bag for 1 hour.
My one friend swears by constantly sweating and like going to saunas and stuff, and she's like super hot, so I trust her.
I do like it because it's an hour where I'm not on my phone, and it's just kind of like, and it's stupid, and you're just in a bag and you're sweating, but there's something kind of like meditative about it.
Mm-hmm.
Except I'm usually watching like a dumb show.
Yeah. The Netflix account of Shape House.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what else did they watch?
Yeah. Who's watching Love on the Spectrum today? Or
so good.
Or like, I like those HGTV shows, but I like to just fast forward to the end when the done project is done.
You're like, I don't need to see you building a bathroom.
I don't need to hear the story.
Let's see what you came up with.
Yeah. Show me them tiles. But yeah, I do that too.
Yeah. Love it. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you so much, Patty, for coming on. Have a good week, everyone. And then shout out your social and anything you want to promote.
Great.
You're on a show that's coming out, right?
Yeah, She-Hulk.
That's so cool.
It started airing 2 weeks ago, and I show up September 8th.
And so that's like a Marvel? Mm-hmm. So what was it like working on that? Was it crazy?
So much fun. Oh, it was so much fun. It was crazy. You get like body scans.
Wow.
All the time because they have to get every look in your outfit and like It was very fun.
That's so cool.
The whole thing was fun. It was just like larger than life stuff going on. And I got to do some stunts and it was so rad.
And are you already trained to do that or?
No. My character was not meant to look like they totally knew what they were doing, so it worked out for me.
Okay, good.
But yeah, you do it there. They have like whole training people.
That's sick.
Really like that's their life.
Yeah. And where can we watch that?
That's on Disney Plus.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's fun. And then some movies coming out. One I know will be out in November. That's a Christmas movie.
Ooh.
Called The Binge 2. A lot of comedians, Nick Swardson, and a lot of comedy people, a lot of Groundlings people. And so that will be out in November on Hulu. And yeah, I don't know the other ones yet, dates or anything, but.
Love it. Well, your hair looks great.
Hey, thanks. You too. We kind of have the same like bangs going on.
Oh yeah. Mine are like meh.
Yeah, like meh.
All right.
And my socials are Patrisket.
Cute.
Yeah.
Patrisket. Like a Trisket?
Yeah, like a Trisket.
Oh.
I love the word biscuit, so it was like close to that Trisket.
Perfect. Well, follow Patrisket and watch her in everything she's in. Bye.